Who would have thought that 3,600 years ago, there was a being on Earth who was almost like a god? He was the oldest mutant apocalypse. With his power to destroy everything, he easily ruled all of Egypt and became the highest king. However, even with great power, Apocalypse still could not escape death, to live forever. Whenever his body became weak, he searched for a new body to be reborn. This time his guards finally found him a perfect young body with the power to heal itself. In this way, their master could truly live forever. With the lead horseman's order, the slaves outside the pyramid pulled the ropes hard, lifting the 4 heavy curtains on the top. At the same time, in an instant, bright sunlight poured down the rune-covered passage. Pushed by the ancient spell, all the sacred energy gathered beneath Apocalypse, and his body slowly rose. But just as his soul was about to leave, soldiers outside the pyramid suddenly rebelled. They had seen through Apocalypse's false god identity and refused to be enslaved for generations. So they smashed the supports holding the massive boulder, sending it rolling down the chute into the pyramid. At the same time, the soldiers inside worked with them, sealing the exit completely. The chief horseman grew furious and struck from midair, turning 2 soldiers into skeletons with 1 blow. Seeing this, the other soldiers charged forward. But the chief horseman unleashed his power, burning them all into red-hot cinders. Under the boulder's impact, the pyramid began to collapse, and the altar inside shook violently. But Apocalypse's 4 horsemen still held their ground. By now the soul transfer had reached its final stage. The next second, however, the boulder arrived, smashing the last pillar inside the altar, just before being buried. One of the horsemen used all her strength to transfer Apocalypse's armor onto the new body, and created a protective shield. The next moment, she was crushed by the falling stones. In her final moments, she still used her remaining energy to protect Apocalypse from the rubble, until everything fell silent, and she closed her eyes forever. But without the final step of the ritual, Apocalypse could not revive, and was buried in darkness for all time. Thousands of years later, a group of Apocalypse followers discovered the place. As they chanted the spell at the altar, a ray of sunlight came through the opening, unexpectedly completing the ritual. The next second, Apocalypse opened his eyes, remembering the betrayal 3,000 years ago. He burned with anger, so he gathered his power and pushed off all the boulders above him. As the entire site collapsed into dust, mutants around the world all felt a wave of terrifying energy.